Fight fire with fire sometimes. Or sometimes you got to fight fire with fire sometimes. You hear people all the time talking about that. I've been hearing that for years. You can't fight fire with fire. Maybe it's true. Sometimes, yeah, it's true. For the most part, I would say it's true. You see what I'm saying? I don't want to take away from nothing that's truth and real, because if you think about a fireman, a firefighter, when they are when they are fighting a fire, I mean, when they are trying to put a fire out, they're not gonna take and shoot fire on the fire. So you have to look at it like that. You know what I mean? So I'm in no ways trying to take away from that. You see what I'm saying? But I guess what I'm saying is probably a bit different. It's probably not to take away from this topic. You see what I'm saying? Fight fire with fire. You have to fight fire and get rid of the fire and put it out with the water. Yeah, because sometimes, like they say, I'm going somewhere with this though. Um, when people look at you a certain way, I guess where I'm going is this here. Have you ever just been, some people, they be so nice sometimes, like I'm guilty of that. You being nice a lot. You grew up being nice. You came up being nice. You try to speak to everybody. I mean, you try to do right, and but you just know it. You already know within your spirit that you are what you're capable of. You see what I'm saying? But a lot of people make you, even though the capability of being aggressive is there, it's like you know that's not you, and you don't want to put on that type of personality, because you know at the end of the day that's not you. This is not me. I don't want to be like this. But sometimes you put in a back corner where you up against the wall. Sometimes it's like you got to somebody corner you up. You got to do what you got to do sometimes. How you doing, brother? All right. That's a one of our older elder brothers that he at least he said something, he spoke, but anyway, sometimes, man, when you're back, it's just like if you take a dog, an animal, and you tie him up in a corner and you beat them and you hit them and you hit them and you just, they ain't doing nothing first couple of times, but eventually one day they're gonna surprise your ass. I guess that's what I'm talking about. And sometimes you get to a point in your life, you just say, wait a minute, fuck this shit. I'm not going out like this. I'm tired of this motherfucker hitting on me like this. And I ain't this shit, but tried to be good in every way. You know what I mean? And then it can be years to come. You be like, you look back on all them years that you was a sucker. You got played in Christianity. And I'm adding all this shit with that. You look back and you think of all them years that you've been played. You know how they say, man, nigga, she played you, man. You got played, man. Y'all know what I'm talking about? Uh, Man, girl, you got played by that nigga. That nigga didn't want so and so and this and that and the third. That nigga didn't want you, girl. He played you to get his game going. It can go both ways. And then you realize that you've been a sucker all of them goddamn years. And people sit back. A lot of people, when you ain't into all that BS bullshit, they look at you and they think you're stupid. When you look back and I think about all that shit, you be like, man, I've been sweet all them years. I meant well. I tried to treat everybody right. I tried to mingle with my brothers. I tried to want to do that. Even when I was in Christianity, I was real good to this individual. I always I invited myself is to be in unity with brothers and sisters. But it's like even in the Christian church, sometimes when you was that person coming to the church, and the so-called church is supposed to be a place where you can get healed, but obviously that wasn't the so back in the day. And that's why I say I can relate to this message about the God's chosen people, the Hebrew Israelites, the curses upon the Israelites, and all of that. I can relate to that. You see what I'm saying? That's why I say when I first heard it, I like, damn, that shit, that rings a bell. You know what I'm saying? It just rings a bell. You know how you hear something, but anyway, I'm not trying to get off the topic. Fire, fight fire with fire sometimes. And when I look back on all them years, like, damn, I was a goddamn sucker. Sick of that music. But anyway, and you realize, and the reason I say is fight fire with fire sometimes you gotta fight fire with fire. In other words, when you get tired of a motherfucker sitting up there trying to run you over and shit, and you coming out your damn door, and the damn neighbors looking at you all crazy and stuff, and you trying to put on this you putting on this good person out. You ain't putting on it, my bad. You letting your personality, I'm gonna say, flow. You see what I'm saying? You allowing your personalities to flow and be the nicest, most sweetest person or whatever you want to say. You know, women will say it like that, you know. And you try to be this cool guy. You want to be this cool guy. You letting your cool side out. You like, damn, man. Shit. They tripping. You know, like, what the hell going on? You don't do nothing but stay to your damn self and this and that and the third. And if we live in the same community, it shouldn't be no fucking problem. So I just got to a place, it make you get to a place where you be like, okay, if you want to play that goddamn game, okay, I play it by your rule. If you want to play that game, I play it. I go right along with you. Let's do it then. If you want to come out looking at me crazy, then maybe I might have to come out looking at you like you crazy. You know what I mean? Because at that point in your mind, you're saying, okay, bring it on. Now, I'm not trying to start, you know, I ain't trying to be, I'm not encouraging nobody to be violent toward each other. So it's not even like that. But what I'm saying is you just get tired of a person just spitting on your damn kindness, you know, and stuff like that. You get tired of that shit. You know what I'm saying? You get tired of it. You be like, okay, hold it. Nah, I can't let this ride like this, man. If you got a goddamn problem with me, okay, this and that and the third. No, we not going to let the so-called come here and run this here, because it's already bad enough. We gotta go to their stores and buy from them. You know what I'm saying? But you just come to a point in your life when people say you have to fight fire with fire. Sometimes you wonder. Sometimes do you need to? Sometimes, because some people ain't gonna understand it until you being rough. Sometimes some people just ain't gonna understand you walking around. How you? Nah, some people ain't gonna get that. It's just like a woman. If you're a good man, like, have you ever heard people say, and I'm adding a woman sometimes don't want a good man. We all can say that. Not no intelligent brother who worked from 9 to 5. Oh no, he got to be making at least 6 figures, and he got to be making over $20,000 a year. Oh hell no, not no. No, from 9 to 5. No, man, you working like this here, and you got this kind of you driving like this here, and you telling me you work from 9 to 5? Oh no, I can't deal with that. And you be like, what's wrong with 9 to 5? Man, get it from up out of here. That is stupid as hell. That's stupid as to even have thought in your mind. Oh well, they work to 9 to 5. Man. That's stupid. I wouldn't even be wasting my time even trying to discuss a conversation like that with no one. But my point is, if you don't stand up for yourself, and I guess what I'm getting to, sometimes you got to fight fire with fire. I'm not saying go out there and do evil for evil and all that kind of stuff. That's not what I'm advocating. But what I am saying is, sometimes you got to stand up and be firm and and say, look, Esau, any of them, I refuse to let you and anybody else screw me over or fuck me over. It's not going to happen. Sometimes when they come up to you looking crazy, Sometimes you got to look at them. I mean, I'm thinking, do you have? Sometimes you might have to look at them back, look back at them crazy. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you got to return the same. It's called reaping what you sow. If you do me wrong or whatever, know for sure that somebody gonna do you the same way. And sometimes I'm thinking, because some people don't get it, it's like they don't get it when you people don't we all know, the majority of us know that a lot of people don't get things when you're being sweet and I mean being all that so quote unquote sweet and kind. A lot of people take that. Have you ever, people say people take your kindness for weakness, right? A lot of people do. They take it as you weak or something. So sometimes like, okay, if you want to play it, I play it by your rule. If you want to play the game, I play it by your rule. If that's how you want to be, if that's you know what I'm saying, because sometimes you got to give people to, like, okay, this is the only way I'm gonna get uh what I need, or the responsibility, or make them have a responsibility or whatever, for whatever it is that they need to have a responsibility for, because this is the only way it's gonna be an out, you know. So sometimes you got to do what you got to do, and that's what I'm thinking. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't go around being all nice all the time, because if you think about it, Christ wasn't a man. He wasn't all nice all the time. If you look at Exodus 15 and verse 3, the Bible says the Lord is a man of war. He was a man of war at times. The Lord is his name. That tells you right there. He didn't go around sweet all the time. Even in the Bible, even Christ had to fight the Edomites and the Edomite angels, the devil's angels. And the angels in the Bible doesn't mean literal. When we think of angels, we think of a literal angels naked flying with wings. No, angels are people, meaning in the Hebrew it means people, man. Angels is talking about people. You got evil angels on this earth, and you got good angels on this earth. You see what I'm saying? So that's what it's talking about when it says Michael and his angels fought against the dragon. The dragon is Esau. You see what I'm saying? Because didn't the Bible say there was war in heaven? Now, heaven doesn't mean a literal heaven. Heaven means rulership on this planet here. There were times that we had to, our people had to war. You see what I'm saying? Went to war with the other nations and stuff. That's what that's going into. It's not going into a literal nation. It's not going into no literal, like, angels. I mean, not nation. I meant to say that, but it's not going into no physical angels up there in the heaven flying. That's not talking about literal flying. Though that's symbolic, because you have to understand that in some parts of the Bible, the Bible was written in parables and allegories. Allegories, it's like a poem somebody write out. You know what I mean? It's like more like parables. That's what the Bible was speaking of. Now, some things was speaking in a literal sense, but some things was just symbolic. Some things were symbolic. Just like when they talk about that Michael and his angels fought in the heaven just means the atmosphere, the heavens just mean rulership stuff. Yeah, the heavens just mean rulership. That's all it means. You know what I mean? Like, who ruling the planet right now? Who ruled the so-called White House? So-called white people, Edomites. Those are evil angels. That's what that is, man. It's evil angels. So when it talks about what is our people right over there right now is going to war, and they fighting right in the war. Ain't they over there fighting in the war? You have the white man, so-called white man in the military, they fight in the war, right? And I'm talking about fighting fire with fire sometimes. Like sometimes there were times in places in the Bible, even the prophets, if you read about them, they wasn't all nice. They was not all nice all the time. But this Christianity doctrine that was pushed on our people got our people thinking, oh, you got to be loving and sweet all the time. No, no, that's not what it's talking about. If you look at the Bible, God even killed people at times. The God of Israel killed the other nations. David went to war. Who else? If you go right there in the book of Judges, even that was my cousin on my mother's side. Yeah, but if you look at them, they went to war. Moses was a man in the Bible. If you look right there in Exodus chapter 2 and 11, Moses killed an Egyptian. Was he nice all the time? Because that Egyptian was an African, a Hamite. That was a Ham. That was the Egyptian was from the nation of Ham. You know what I mean? Moses killed that Egyptian in the Bible. Moses wasn't always nice. He wasn't. There are times that he went to war. He loved his people. What did the Bible says? Moses chose to suffer affliction with his people than to enjoy the pleasures of sin. And the wealth and stuff on the planet. It says he chose to suffer with his people than to sell his soul out to Esau. Yeah. And when you are woke, when you're a thinker, a lot of people, they look at you like, how they look at you? They look at you, how they look at you? They look at you like you weird, like something wrong with you. They'll say all kinds of stuff is wrong with you. The way that you are, you need to go get checked out. You're not normal. You this and you that. And that's crazy. But especially when you respond to people, like, I'll give you a perfect example of slave syndrome. The way I respond to people, there was a elderly woman. I'd be right in front of people. I mean, she'd be around sometime. And people will tell me things like, I don't want to say that part because I don't want to give too much information or whatever. But let me try to see if I can say it like this. When I respond, the way that I respond to things, a lot of people think they think that, okay, it must be something wrong with this guy because I'm the type of person, I'm very outspoken, especially when I get mad or angry or something like that. And then a lot of time I don't have to be angry. If it's on me to say something, and more than likely, if I'm fired up on the inside, I'm gonna let you know what's happening. I'm not gonna sit up there and sugarcoat nothing with you. I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna tell you what's what and this and that and the third. And a lot of people is not used to people being upfront with them and telling them certain things. You see what I'm saying? A lot of people are not used to that. A lot of people are used to you when they come around, and if it's something you don't like about them or whatever, most people, we have to end up keeping it to ourselves because we don't want this person to really know how we really feel about them. But I'm one of those people. If I'm feeling a certain type of way about you, I'm one of those. I'm gonna let it all the way out, and that's what people don't like about me. And when you are upfront and you're honest with people, a lot of people don't know how to deal with that, and they'll label you as, okay, this is what you is, and you need to go get some, you need to go get checked out. Because notice that if you're honest and you're upfront with them right away, and you surround a lot of people, some people gonna laugh at you. Some of them gonna laugh at you. Why? Because in their mind, they never saw or came from a place where they saw somebody like, okay, damn, this dude is up front like this here. And I'm still talking about sometimes you got to, like, you can't go around being nice all the time. And that's what some people do. A lot of people, we walk up and we pretend. You see what I'm saying? But if something is bugging me and it's bothering me, if I feel some type of way about you, whether it's negative or positive, I'm gonna let you know. I'm gonna say, hey, look, this is what you sound like. You are a negative person. Somebody may say, like somebody came to me one time and say, man, I don't like the way you came off, man. You came off like you was rude and I was only being nice to you and this and that and the third. But here's my catch. If I get, let's say, maybe it may be the vibes that some people give off sometimes. If you're giving off that type of vibe, and more than likely my instincts don't be wrong. If you're giving off a like this vibe, something ain't right about this vibe here. There's nothing that you will be able to say or do to me. I'm gonna like, yeah, and I'm gonna keep, how you doing? All right, yeah. Yeah. But how you family? I'm like, they all right, okay. I keep all right, man. All right. I see you later. That's how I be. If I'm not really feeling that vibe like that. You see what I'm saying? Um, because and have you ever just let me ask y'all something. Have you ever just been talking to somebody, you didn't catch it right away, but you kind of like all of a sudden, maybe a couple of minutes later, you be like, I'm not feeling this type of energy. And you be like, have you ever just picked, it's called picking up a vibes and stuff like that. And you be like, man, no, All right. And you end up saying something like that, man, look, it's nice talking with you. A sister, it was nice talking with you. I'm gonna see y'all later. Y'all have a good day. You turn everything off in a nice way, but you really don't want them to know what you really was thinking in your mind or something like that about them and this and that and the third. Like, I appreciate y'all and everything, but and then you get to yourself and you be like, man, I didn't like how the way she was talking to me, man. I didn't. Me neither, man. I ain't like how the way she was talking to me. But see, me, I'm the type of person, and me, I'm gonna give you out a true version of me. If I'm feeling like that about that person, I'm the type of person I'm gonna stand there and face them front to front, and I'm gonna let them know. I'm just gonna be straight up raw. I ain't gonna even much lie to you. I'm gonna say, well, you know what? I'm gonna let you know. I'm gonna be honest with you. The vibes that I'm getting from you, you don't have no good vibes to me. So I'm out of here. And I'm just being upfront and honest with you. And I ain't going behind your back. And I'm not going behind your back, talking about you. I just got a bad vibe from you. And I'm just being 100% honest with you. And to me, it sounds like you're full of shit. That's the type of, like, especially when, well, I don't really have to be mad, but sometimes I be tense. But now, if I'm in a good mood, I probably will try to tell them in a nice way. But sometimes when people say things or do things, immediately it's like that aggressiveness just shoot up, like an anger just hit there and shoot up. I'm like, hey, wait a minute. Then that offense mode come in, and I'm like, nah, I'm not feeling you no more. You full of shit. And then sometimes I end up cussing them out. Now I don't know if that's the right thing to do, but I'm being honest about that, because if I'm getting a bad vibe from somebody or something like that, and it's like the love and the passion is still there, but of course I'm like, no, I can't give this person my love. I can't give them my passion. I'm gonna have to let the aggressive side come out on me. Now I don't know if that's, if it could be wrong to an extent, and I try to keep myself to a certain extent. You know what I mean? I don't go around and just deliberately just try to just have animosity against somebody. But if I'm feeling that person in that moment, it's just something to make me stay there and go to talking to them a little longer. But if I don't feel comfortable with talking to them or whatever, I'm just gonna look at them and they might think I'm crazy. Cause I've been talking to people, and I'm gonna tell you, I've been talking to people, and people come up to me and start talking, and I be fit. It's like, you know how everything seemed to be good in the conversation, then all of a sudden in your mind something trigger your mind and something go left. The conversation end up going horrible and left, and you be like, you look at them and you be like, all of a sudden, I'm like, I'm gonna get away from this person. I'm gonna leave them sitting right there talking. They probably gonna think I'm crazy because I'm like, they're like, what's wrong with him? He walking off of me while I'm still talking to him. It's like when I get a bad vibe, that's how I is. That's how I'm is. Or it depends on how bad the aggression is at that moment. I'll just say, well, I'll see you later. I'm gone. You know, something like that. You know what I mean? And I think my family knows the type of person that I am in that area. They probably feel like, man, this guy's is crazy, hell of a crazy. Because I'm one of those. If something like that happened to me, if I'm in a situation like that, I would rather just be upfront and honest with the people instead of going behind their back and talking about them behind their back. Now that's the true side of me. You see what I'm saying? Y'all put in the comment section and let me know what y'all think on the information that I was talking about. Let me know if maybe if you feel like it's me. Uh, Let me know what type have you dealt with this type of spirit, and let me know in the comment section or give me a scripture or something, and let me know what you would do. Just take if you come and you get this far in this video before you get off of this video from watching this video. I don't care how long the damn comment is. Put something in there if you can, or simple, to let me know, have you been in a situation like that? What kind of spirit do you think it is? You see what I'm saying? What kind of spirit do you think it is? Do you think it's just me? Do you think I'm being a little too hard on it? Because at this point, like when you are like what would you know what I'm saying? Like what would you do? Or do you felt like some of the things that I was saying was pretty horrible, or what? You see what I'm saying? Am I horrible for that? Am I like what would you do? You can give me a scripture, chapter, and verse. You you see what I'm saying? And everything that I just said, you know, how would you deal with it? How would y'all deal with it? I want to know the true perspective of what I didn't say. Notice I didn't say y'all perspective. Give me y'all's. I'm not telling you to give me y'all's perspective. I'm telling you to give me the perspective according to what the Bible teaches and the understanding according to the Bible. You see what I'm saying? What would you do? Have y'all been in a situation like that? If you had to rely upon a scripture and everything that I just said, what would you say? What would you do? Chapter and verse. What would God? You tell me, because I know a lot of people have a little bit more insight on a God. I would say the God of Israel, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob than I do. Yeah, let me know what y'all would do in the comment section. You know, so I just come back and bring y'all another video at another time, and I mean the next video, and I'm not gonna hold it out long because I held this one out long enough. All right, I'm out, y'all. The video is entitled "Fight Fire with Fire Sometimes." Fight fire with fire sometimes. I'm out. That's the title.